Welcome everybody to the Organic Humanity Movement YouTube channel. Today I'll be interviewing Khotso Lebakeng. He is a candidate for a by-election taking place this week in Tableview, Ward 107 of Cape Town. He was also a candidate in the previous 2021 elections, and hopefully he'll apply to be a candidate next year in the 2024 national elections. Khotso, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to have this interview. To start off, I know personally your story to varying degrees. I know that you've been involved in politics for a really long time, from your childhood years, in fact. So could we kick off this interview with you explaining to the listeners your political journey from your youth up until this point?
Hi people, hope you're having a good day. My political, I think it started at school, mainly with debate classes, being there because I studied at the school in Khayelitsha. So I basically started there doing debate, and then from there, an organization came. I think it's what's called EE, which is Equal Education, which it stands for the rights of the students. So I was involved in it, and then I got a chance to become a leader of it. Then I led for 2 years, and then I had to change school, and I went back to another school, and then unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to finish school. Then it so happened that I dropped out. But when I dropped out, I didn't stop there, and I started involving myself with other parties, like the parties like the ANC, being part of it because it's, I think it's a party that I grew up in. My family were supporting it, so I grew up. I tried to push in, and along the way, and I didn't see what people saw in them, which is I felt that it was not the party for me. Then I decided to take a break in politics. I did art. I started doing arts and culture, which is I was doing drama, and I a little bit of swimming classes there and there. And then along the way, another organization came, and then I think it was called Community Youth Parliament. So it was a platform where the young people get a chance where we call our stakeholders in our community and held them accountable. And then from there, I was doing the same with Youth Parliament, and I was also continuing with my art. And then along the way came Lorraine. She came to one of the church that I think we did art, and there she came along. She preached to us, and then we were taken away. And I felt somehow that okay. I felt skeptical that okay, who is she and what's going on? And then she did explain to me. Yes, I did. At first, it's not easy to trust because in our community we are raised to other support the agency, and then came along the EFF. Then we saw okay, EFF is the second option, but along the way we saw that the EFF was not the way. They are the way, but they are pushing their agenda in the wrong way. So I told myself I must step back. Then when she came, she told me about OMS. I felt so interested in such way. I think I was the first person to join the movement that drama group here in Fulham. So when I joined it, I felt that they are preaching what I wanted to, because they are not because most of the time we depend on other people. But here's a party that's saying that depend on yourself, and here's a party that's giving us back control, because we might think that we have control, but you only have control once in 5 years, where you vote for that person and then it's over, then everything changes. So I joined the OMS because I feel that they are in the right track and they're pushing a good agenda. And what I like, they're not pushing it for their self-interest or anything. I don't think there is a party that is saying what we are saying, that we don't want to be in power, but we want to change the political system. I think that in its own, to me, took my mind. It got me thinking, is it possible? I can say that it is possible, but we all need to work together in building it. And we're not saying we're going to win today or tomorrow. It will take years for us to get, but we will get there. But I just want to say that I am ready to work with them. So if you want to join us, come. Let's work the journey. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think any government or any political party that tries to create dependence is one that wants power for the wrong reasons. So I'd like to ask you the next question, and that is, if you could just change one thing about South Africa, what would you change and why?
And I think I would change our education system, because I feel our education system, it's sort of like we were mind controlled, because our education teaches only one thing: study, go work, which is that's beneficiary. They teach you to be your own, to work for money, which means go study, and after you study, you get into the system, you get captured, pay the tax, you go along the system, which is the problem is with that. Even now, if you look at our country, most people turn into nursing and also teaching. Why? Because that's the way you can get a job, which is now we have teachers that do not have that heart to teach. Everyone is doing everything for money. And our education system, it's corrupting our children day by day. Because now we look at a system where everyone is expected to learn the same thing for the next 13 years or 15 years. You're learning the same thing. And after so many years, after wasting so many precious time, that 12 years, you're expected to go to university or to go to college to study another further, maybe plus minus 5 years. So I don't think it's fair for anyone. And I think we are too greater than that, because a person's mind, I think we can learn something within a week. Then why should we be taught something for 12 years, something that we can learn in a week? Our country needs, where in our country, we don't have things like, if I fail in studying, I'm not good in school, then obviously I'm going to add to the population of unemployment, because I only know one thing to test, because not all of us are meant to sit on the desk or press the computer. Some of us, our powers are in our hands. Some of us, our powers are in our mouth. But in school, we don't get that. In school, you are taught that you must sit the rest of your life obeying to one person. That's wrong. We need to open up. That's why in South Africa, we have foreign investors, because here in us, we are not taught at school how to be businessmen. Imagine a country where a child is given a primary life. Fine, let's give them from grade 1 to grade 7. They learn everything, they learn language and everything. Then when we scratch to a high school level, we know on that 7 years, we have already known, we have established what you're good at and what you're not good at. We already know who's the guy who's right for the test. We know who's not. We have soccer players, we have swimmers, we have people that are good in their hands, we have engineers in our community, in our schools. But those people will never reach that goal. Why? Because they are not motivated to. We only think here. You don't think outside the box, that's our education system. It's programming us to come and get to the system and get captured. And once you get captured, your life is over. So we need to promote a school where I know that if I'm good in books, I'm good in books, but I'm not only good in books. I have something that I can do with my hands. I have a sport I play. Imagine a person having 3 talents. She's good in education, she's good in sport, and she has something that she or he can do by his hands, which means if I do not qualify here, if I fail in my sport, I have 2 options. A way also to end poverty, because not all of us, because now we're thought of all of us, because why there's no jobs, because all of us study for the same thing. So we need to change our system as South Africa and change our education system. So we need to motivate our young people and to make sure that in our schools, we promote sport, we promote recreation, and we promote that let's do things with our hands.
I think you raised so many valid issues that the country faces through describing the complete mess that the education system is right now. And I as well resonate with what you're saying. I would love to see children's talents, gifts, and natural abilities developed, where they can become initiators of their own businesses instead of becoming yet another corporate slave, needing a job, needing, again, if not dependence on the government, then dependence on a corporation. And you're also 100% right. As you mentioned, we have an education system infiltrated by overseas organizations such as the UN through UNESCO. And I think it's been a weapon used against this country. Thank you so much for your passion that you have for the education system. And I hope we can see those changes taking place very quickly. I'd like to know, you were born in Cape Town, you've lived in Cape Town your whole life. What are some of the biggest issues unique to where you live currently?
Mainly everything, because in our communities, most of the time government keeps our community grows. They grow a lot, and we know that that's something that everyone knows. Our community are big. We are a big community, but the government intends that my community, I think many years back, it was a small community and with a small clinic. But if you come now, the population is growing, and the population is growing. It's not growing by itself, it's grown by the government and by us, because there are many places where people go to put their houses, which means those are the informal settlement. But also that's the fault of the government, because the government is not giving the people their houses. The government keeps growing the community and extending the community. But I believe that if you extend the community, you must extend also its resources. Because now you find a community, you catered for a community that there were 3,000, and then you cater for 3,000. But as long the years grow, you keep adding another 3,000, meaning the same services you brought to that 3,000 will never be enough to add another 3,000, because we have 6,000. So the more you grow the population, you must bring services. In our community, it's a big community, and I'm lucky enough to be part of the community, because even now I'm at the clinic, our temporary clinic here in Fuleni. It's been a temporary for so many years. We had a small one and we moved here, and we are still here. But along the way, there are promises that they're going to build a new one. But we will wait. South Africa is not the only country that has many people. Every country has many people. But the only thing that is there, we need to bring order to our own country. If OMS win in this ward, and we know, obviously, we will know who voted for us and who didn't vote for us. We will know by how we see things. But now, it doesn't mean if I didn't vote for you, you should kick me out, that I should not get the services the person who voted for you. This is a free country. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. If I believe in somebody's thing, I will support that thing. If you are seeing it wrong, that's your own. We need to change our political system, but not make it a beef. Politics is serving the people. So how will we serve the people when we fight amongst others? We will never serve the people. We are all sent there for the same reason. When we are in parliament or we are in council, I'm not there for me or for the OMS. I'm there for those people that send me there. But we forget that. We go there and now I'm like, no, I'm standing for the OMS. Yes, OMS is my party. OMS are the one that gave me the platform to go there. But OMS is nothing without those people. I am nothing without those people. They say this way, that for the people, by the people, but we do not see this happening. We need also to bring back, because our country is here in Fuleni, we have so many issues, and these issues we have here, there are many, I might call them, but these issues are not happening here in Fuleni only. They're happening around South Africa.
You mentioned a lot of issues that are very real facing many South Africans, not just in Fuleni, we are not just in Cape Town, but indeed across South Africa. And I think it's important that we keep in mind the struggle that so many people go through every single day. And I would like to ask, you seem to have such a passion for people and such a passion for politics, especially politics done the right way. This is a question I might find difficult myself, but I'd like to know, what kind of legacy do you see yourself leaving behind in this country, in South Africa? What do you feel is the mark you want to leave on this country? What kind of political change do you personally want to make here in South Africa?
I think here in South Africa, we had leaders like Nelson Mandela, and I think they taught us one thing, and that was love. Because how do you expect a man to stay for so many years in prison and then forgive that person and acts like nothing? So I think I would like to leave love and peace and also leave that this shoulder, it is a shoulder that you can kneel on. The person next to you must be happy. If I'm saying this because I love people and I want to see people happy. So what legacy I would want to live out, just want to live love and peace and know that you can cry on your neighbor. Bring back the love that we had. And I think back in the days, our mothers know that during even the barter trade, you see that clearly that would show you that that was love. I know that I have a potato, you have an orange, we exchange. So I'm showing you that that's love. You're giving me what I don't have, and I'm giving you what I have, which is we helping one another. I think I would like to bring back a conscious to our heart. With my legacies, we need to have a conscious. I think today leaders don't have a conscious. Yes, given a time, my life is not nice, it's not, but if I get a government job, my life will change. But that life of mine is changing, which is, yes, I'll have a car, I'll have a house, but that salary that is given to me, it is for me to do what? To help others. So that salary, it is mine. The other money, it's not mine, it's for the community. We need to know that we need to differentiate the salary that you're given, it is yours. Do whatever you want, but the money that is given to the people, use it for the people, because you are there, because you said that I can get you what you want. So when we put you there, when you put me there, I'm expected to deliver. Service delivery. Let's leave money that is not meant for us. We are given salaries. That salary must be enough. We must stop being greedy, because that money is not yours. That money is for the people. We need to have that conscience to remember that, hey, this money, I can't eat it. Remember, if you're gonna eat that money of building a hospital or building that clinic, somebody's mother might not see tomorrow because of you. Your own mother, imagine your own mother not being able to go to hospital because there are no ambulances, because the Department of Health is eating money. Imagine that there are fires, then there are no trucks to go where that fire, because the the fire and response, the money is gone. Imagine your child staying at home and not getting the right education because the education system, the education minister or whoever is in charge is eating the money. We need to also remember that we are serving people, we are not serving animals. That salary is given to you, enjoy it, but leave the other, because it's not yours. Because your job is for you to manage that money, to manage not for yourself, but for the people.
I think you raised something so relevant, that the politicians that are in power right now actually don't comprehend the magnitude of the consequences of their greedy actions, and how government failure leads to loss of life often, and lots of suffering indeed. So I would like to know, Khotso, what is one value in your life that is most important to you?
Helping one another. Helping a brother, helping a sister, helping whoever is in need.
I think if South Africa saw more of that, we would be a beautiful country. And I think there are lots of examples of people that do dedicate their lives to helping others. But we definitely need to see more and more of that. And
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I'd like you to leave a message to South Africa. What would you like South African citizens to know from Khotso, from your life experience, from your experience in politics, from everything that you know that's going wrong with the country right now? What is your message to South Africans?
I'll just to say to South Africans, South Africa, I think there was never a better time for us to stand up and not sit at home and not say, it's fine, it's okay. It's a time now where we need to stand up. Don't stand up for your brother or who, stand up for yourself. Say, I don't want it. Showing that courage that you stand up saying, no, not here. We don't want it. The youth, we need to stand up. We don't need to. We are in this situation because we have let adults and old people run our own country. Sorry to say that, but the elderly and the old people that are there in parliament, we know that their time is up. What we are facing now and what they were facing back then is no longer the same. We have new challenges and we have new ways of doing things. But our country is standing still because those people are still doing things the old way. We need to come back, South Africa. This is now. This is the 21st century. So which means let the 21st century lead. So let the young person get up, kick those blankets, kick whatever you're doing, kick it in and say no. Stand up for your own right and say no. Stand up to be our country being corrupt. Stand up on saying, it's fine, at least today load shedding is gonna end, it's gonna only go once. It's wrong. That shouldn't be something that we shouldn't have say no, at least 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock it's better, but no, it's wrong. We need to stand up. Our mothers and our fathers, they are trusting us to lead the country, but we are not giving them that. Our people want to give a young man a chance, but we as young people don't want to take responsibility. Young men, get up. Young women, get up. Let's get up. Let's fight for what we know. Let's fight for our country. Our country, we know what we want for this country. But if we sit in our back houses or sit in our shebeens or sit wherever we're sitting and talk about things and not do anything, that's not gonna help. Here, I am here as Khotso Lebakeng with Organic Humility Movement. We are here for you. I am here for you. If you are saying that it's enough is enough, then come with me. And I know it's not gonna be an easy journey. We're gonna get criticized. We're gonna be kicked down, but it doesn't matter how many times you fall. But what matters is that you're still standing. So I'm saying, South African, grab my hands. Let's hold our hands together and walk this journey. Let's walk into a new South Africa, a new South Africa that is for all, a new South Africa that runs itself, a South Africa that is run by the people, for the people. Let's work together, South Africans. Our parents will have trust on us, will put trust on us when we stand up. If we wanna, as young people, if we wanna be respected, let's show respect. I know it's not gonna be easy, but I am here. And even for me, it's not gonna be easy. But I'm saying, South Africans, come. Young man, young boy, young lady, young woman, whoever you are, wherever you are, come. Let's walk this journey, because it's only now that we can change South Africa. Because the next day, when we wake up, we will see a South African and say, I wish I did something, and that would be late. We do not need that now. Let's change. In the elections that we're going in 2024, I pledge you that we as the OM will change the system. So we, in order for us to have a good country, we're not saying we will not dictate this country. We're not dictators, but we want democracy. We want to say, when something is wrong, you say it's wrong, and then fix it. We are a government. We are going to be a government that when you say something is wrong, we say, come with us. Why it's wrong? How can you fix it? We need also to promote that. If we have a problem, instead of talking it behind doors or not, let's come together. If I'm not doing right, come to me and say, this is not what we want. Then I listen to you, what you want. OMS is a party that's gonna stand for you, which is us. We are not there for our own interest or for our own party. We're just there to change the system, to change a South African's life.
That was Khotso Lebakeng, a true humanitarian, a creative individual with a passion for community work and a genuine love for people, which I think that combination is very rare indeed. And Khotso, I want to thank you so much for giving us your time on this afternoon. I know you're busy with all the work and with your family, so thank you so much. And we wish you the best of luck in the by-election that's taking place tomorrow. And if you do live in Ward 107 in Cape Town, which is Sunningdale, Parklands and Tableview, more or less, then please go down to your nearest voting station, consider voting for OM, consider voting for Khotso, and vote for system change.